Welcome to Chicken Maniacs. I'm Lucy.
And I'm Isla.
And today we're going to be practicing some showmanship. Here I have my Millie Fleur cockerel, Mr. Bo Handsome. So when you are starting your showmanship with the judge, you're going to be holding your chicken like this. So you are going to have your middle finger under him, in between his legs, and the two other ones, the ring finger and the pointer finger, around legs. So it would have a nice grip. So you're going to just hold him here for a minute until the judge nods. And you have to remember to say everything in sentences and to look, smile, or nod at the judge when you are done finishing that thing that you're doing. Like, if you're done doing, like, any of the steps, you know. So, first thing is that you're going to start with the head. You're going to look for any signs of blindness or any spots or scrapes on the comb or eyes or beak. I don't see any, so I'm going to be good, so I'm good. So I'm just going to nod the judge. Next is the wings. You're going to spread out the wing that is closest to your free hand and spread it out and put it back in, and then put your hand over the bird's body, not like under or like around, you know, not any like weird places like that. You have to go over the bird's wings and spread out the wings so the judge can see all the right, like, coverts and stuff like that. So, like that. Next, you're going to do the undercolor to see if your bird has the right undercolor for its breed. Mine's gray, so I'm okay with that. The next thing that you're going to measure, like estimating the width of the body. So you're going to take your hand like this and stick it in between like the wings like that. And then do this and keep it in that position of what the measurement was so you can show the judge. Mine was this big. So next, this might be kind of tricky for some of your birds. So you're just going to, like, grasp the legs where your hands are. Just grasp them. You can't do this with your feet because it could damage some of the feet, like bones, and even break them. So you're going to flip them over like this. You can lightly let go a little bit, just to, like, you know, get some more ease. You're going to measure how big or, like, tall or long the keel or the breastbone is. So I'm going to say like about that tall, so I'll show that to the judge. Next, you're going to flip them back over, and you're going to find the vent here and show the vent to the judge to see if there's any worms or mites, eggs hiding there. Next, you're going to like get your fingers ready and see how many fingers you can fit in between the tip of the keel and the vent. So I could fit about 3, so I show that to the judge. A little nod. Next, if you feel those 2 pointy bones that are like right below the vent, those are the pubic bones. You're going to try to measure the pubic bones and how many fingers you could fit in between them. I could only fit 1 because this chicken is a bantam, and they have like smaller bones. Next, I'm going to be showing the judge the feet and the legs. I'm just going to show the judge the feet and the legs to make sure if there's no naughtiness and stuff. When you're doing all of this, you're actually not just like supposed to be like, oh yeah, do that and do that. You're actually supposed to be checking for any knots or tightness that you think might be bad for the bird. Like when you're measuring the keel, you're actually feeling for any knots or disabilities that might occur when the chicken is doing any showing. So back to the feet. You're just going to be showing the feet and the legs, like so. This guy doesn't like to do it at all, but okay. This is one of the hardest, is posing the bird. If your bird is very tame, this might be easy, but sometimes it's not, so you will need to practice this a lot. You can practice if you're asleep if you need to. So you're just going to pose him to give your judge an overview of what your bird looks like.
And then also what's really important is that sometimes when the birds are posing, their head's like moving all around.
Yeah, and
they're
like,
oh,
yeah, they get really distracted. So you need to make sure that your bird is like really serious about what he's doing.
What in a book I read, it said maybe it might help you to play like music so that they're used to like the big sounds, you know, at the fair.
Cool. Like,
yeah,
boom, boom, like
to have like music out, you know, so that like they'll get used to like the loud noise when
and not be like, oh, you know, because that's how some birds are. So when you're done posing the bird, your judge will give you a nod to like let you know that you can stop doing that. You're going to turn your bird over and like grab its feet and put your hand on its back and put it in its cage. I don't have a cage right here, but at the show or the fair, you will have a cage there to put your chicken in. So you always want to remember, always go head first, never tail first, because it can damage the tail feathers, and you don't want that, do you? So you're going to just grasp its, legs and put it into the cage, set it down, and you'll pose it in the cage. Once you're done posing the bird, you will grab its legs again and take it out, always head first. This is really the hardest one because it's just, you never really have heard of walking a bird. But guess what? You have to walk your bird. So you just lightly tap with a stick. You can even use
first
you
off,
can really use like any kind of stick, but you just lightly tap like the above the shanks.
and also first off, when you think about walking a bird, you think of, oh, we're gonna put a leash on it. No, you have to use a stick, which
And your bird has to go straight
which it
like
can jump over and not listen to you. So it's a lot more painful.
My birds like really hate doing this, in case you didn't notice.
And which is really bad because she has a fair tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
What?
Not tomorrow.
Oh, but she's
Like in 2 days. And then once it's at the end of the table, once your judge gives you a nod, you will like pose the bird. And if you need to, well, you're good. You will walk back and pose it again, but most of the time you don't do that. And that's technically the end of the hardest part, and now you just have to answer the questions.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well,
some of the questions would be like
is your bird a
male
male
or female? How old is it? Given that is a male or a female, well, usually if you say it's a male, then you would say, given that is a male and that it is like a year old.
Or whatever,
yeah,
how old your chicken is.
What is it called? And then you'd say like a cock.
Cockerel or pullet, hen.
Yeah.
Cock. I don't know.
In the American Standard of Perfection, what class contains your breed you are showing?
And you'd say like feather-legged, and then they'd be like, what breed is your chicken? And I'd say Belgian bearded Duclay. And
you have now
told me the breed of the chicken.
What is the variety?
The variety of my chicken is feather-legged.
Then they're not going to ask you all of these questions.
The most important ones are like what breed, variety, class, how old, and male and female. And
sometimes they'll actually ask you, like breeds of other birds that you know.
Yeah, like
this has.
In what part of the world was your breed developed, or can you tell me an economic quality of the bird you're raising?
Or what type of diet do you provide for your adult females? What is the protein level? And are there any particular problems associated with the breeding the type of your poultry you raise?
And if you don't breed your chickens, and
you can just say
like,
I do not breed my birds.
Yeah. So it's once you like got this in your mind, it becomes really easy, and you'll start like, you know, really.
Trust me, she got it in her mind one day that we're having a sleepover,
and I was really just like saying it in my sleep. I was like,
and I kept on waking up. And I was like, so the judging thingy will look like this, like right here. You might not be able to see.
Like,
it says it's when it right down here says walking the bird. You know.
Yeah. So that's technically it.
And also, here's some of the most important things that you have to be doing all the time: speaking ability and knowledgeable.
Yeah, so that's technically it. And if you want any more info, then you could go to
chickenmaniacs.com or something.
Yeah, or you could see
and send
videos
us
on
an
YouTube.
email to see what you want us to talk more about.
Yeah, thank you.